I'm gonna talk with you about a very important topic, and I can't wait to actually see your comments and questions below the video. So the topic is, why is carnivore the ultimate elimination diet, and how do you know you actually could benefit from it? How do you know it's time for you to try such extreme, crazy way of eating? So what does it mean, carnivore? It means elimination of all plant foods. So that means you will be, so the person that eliminates all plant foods consumes all sorts of animal products. Why would we do that? So it goes to understanding that plant foods, although have vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals, and could be beneficial in small amounts to the human body, in terms of stimulating the immune function, so it works better. You will hear this term called hormesis that's always thrown out around plants. Yeah, plants have this hormetic effect where they, in small amounts, they do a good thing. However, it's been now documented, and if you want to look more into this, search Paleomedicina Clinic in Hungary. They are publishing research papers, clinical data and research paper looking at the state of the gut, leaky gut, and its correlation with plant foods. In other words, when people consume plant foods, they develop leaky gut. When they eliminate all plant foods and embark on a so-called keto carnivore, meaning high fat with just the right amount of protein for the person, but think of a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 times as much fat to the protein that the person consumes. Looking at their gut lining, within a month they report healing and sealing of the gut lining. The leaky gut is reversed. The gut has a chance to heal in the absence of plant foods. So all diseases begin in the gut. This is not news. I've been talking about this for many years. In fact, it's well established into literature that autoimmunity, hormonal problems, gut issues, behavioral problems, any disease in the body, pretty much chronic disease, originates in the gut. A gut that is leaky and porous will allow will allow disease to develop in the body. How is that? Number one, if the gut is not healthy, we don't absorb the nutrients even if we eat the best foods. Number two, a leaky gut is allowing the entrance into the bloodstream of undigested food components that will trigger immunologic responses, and your immune system is bombarded with elements that it has to fight against. Again, it can be undigested food, it can be microbes and viruses and other toxins from the environment. Anything that enters through our mouth that ends up into the gut will be freely absorbed into the bloodstream without having the barrier, something to stop it, because the gut is a semi-permeable membrane. In other words, it allows certain particle size molecules to enter from the gut into the bloodstream. When the gut is porous, is leaky, imagine having big holes like a pasta strainer that allows the entrance into the bloodstream of molecules of size that are not normal. So because they are not normal, the immune system has to fight against them, and that means driving inflammation ongoing from the gut, from the foods you eat, from the beverages you drink, from everything else that you are exposed to, and that includes, again, toxins, undigested foods, microbes, viruses, parasites, bacteria, all that. So now imagine you are malnourished because you literally, if the gut is not healthy, you don't absorb nutrients, and your immune system is not only malnourished but is overworked. It becomes overwhelmed with the amount of responses it has to give, and in this state of overwhelm, the immune system begins to lose control and no longer recognize what's self versus non-self. So it begins to fight against your thyroid. So you are diagnosed with Hashimoto's. It begins to fight against your pancreas. You are diagnosed with late onset type 1 diabetes. It begins to fight against your adrenal. You are diagnosed with adrenal, autoimmune adrenal, which is Cushing disease, I think, and Addison. Those are two different ones. Or against your the myelin that covers your nerves, so it's MS. Against your gut lining, so you have Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. You name it. There's so many autoimmune conditions: rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, psoriasis. The list just grows longer and longer. And then you also have generalized inflammation. So what we know now is that plants, they have components in themselves that actually aggravate leaky gut. So if you already have a compromised gut lining, the more plants you consume, the more you are going to contribute to that compromised gut state. You literally imagine poking more holes into your gut lining. So instead of you healing yourself with foods, you slowly damage yourself with foods if you continue to favor consumption of plant matter. So if you identify with any of these autoimmune conditions, hormonal problems, metabolic problems, gut issues, consider that. And if you've never tried a elimination diet as strict as the GAPS or carnivore, keto carnivore, I strongly encourage you to open up yourself to the possibility of experimenting with such nutritional approaches, therapeutic nutritional approaches. Will it be for the rest of your life? I don't have an answer for you. For me, it is. For me, eliminating all plant foods, it was the answer to my 27 years quest of resolving chronic constipation, healing the gut, resolving chronic constipation. So it turned out that my short experiment, 5 days, 10 days, a month, it turned on to a whole year, and is now my default eating. Very little plant foods. Occasionally I have some, but by and large, I rely my nutrition on animal-based products. So begin to look, shift, unlearn what you learn. You learn that you get your vitamins and minerals from foods, and you get your antioxidants and all that from plants, but that is half truth, if at all. All the vitamins, all the nutrients the human body requires, we find them in animal foods, in the protein and in the fat that comes with it. So whether you go for ruminate meats or pork or chicken or other poultry, eggs, seafood, including dairy, if depending on your immunological state, again, gut health, immunological state, you may or may not be able to tolerate dairy products. I strongly encourage going off dairy products. Again, if you are already up here with autoimmunity being one of the like major signs. So what does it mean? How would you approach this? You would literally first have to educate your mind. Your conscious mind has to begin to see as safe and as a possible solution elimination of plant foods from your diet, and making animal foods as your staple. And once you're ready at the mental level, then you begin the actual changes. And I recommend a gradual elimination of plants all the way to the point of being 100% meat-based or meat-centric with enough fat. Again, because protein is structural. Protein, the body doesn't want to use protein as a source of energy. The body is very well equipped to use carbohydrates and fat as a source of energy. In the absence of carbohydrates, obviously we eliminate carbohydrates if we eliminate plants. The main source of fuel for the body becomes the fat. So if you have to have enough fat with enough protein to initiate and support healing of the gut, healing of the immune system, and then healing of the body slowly. It's just like, imagine that you have a glass of water and you put a dye in that water drop by drop, and you see that dye diffusing and coloring the entire jar. That's what happens in terms of health. Drop by drop, day by day, when you eliminate the foods that are hindering healing and you eat the foods that support healing, day by day you spread health and healing and regeneration in your body, just like dye would spread into a glass of clear water, and it will turn it all purple, since purple is my color. So that's my invitation to you. Begin to see plants with a different eye. Do not be afraid that you will not get your nutrients, because human body gets everything it needs from animal food source, including vitamin C, which I know most people are like, where do you get your vitamin C? Yes, you get your vitamin C from meat and organ meats, and the requirement for vitamin C goes down when you eat no carbs, basically. And for support, I love to have you inside my Find Your Cure 1 month group coaching program. We begin January 13, and this is the place where you will prepare yourself spiritually, mindset wise, as well as I will give you the tools and resources for you to embrace this ultimate elimination, that if that is the best for you. If fasting is the best for you, you're at the step of fasting, which I've done a video earlier, I'm going to share that as well. I would support you to embrace that. If the Smart Safe Detox is the next best step for you, that's what I would support you to do. In this Find Your Cure program, you will get all the support, emotional, spiritual, and physical support to embrace the strategies that will help you from where you are make advancements on your healing journey. That's how it works. It's very personalized. We get together as a group, but each and every single one of you works on your own unique cure. So you can find what works for you. But for you to do that, you have to be open and willing to experiment. So you receive feedback from your body. Your body has the inner wisdom. It knows what it needs. You just have to quiet down, take away the outside noise, and listen to your body's voice. But to do that, you have to actually embrace different approaches, different therapies, and see how the body responds to that. And again, how would you know if you've never done the ultimate elimination diet, if you've never done a proper detox, if you've never done prolonged fasting? This is the time to do it. When I I was like ready to try carnivore, I said to myself, I tried every single thing out there. Raw vegan, cooked, vegetarian, lacto-ovo, GAPS, keto. The only thing I have not tried was eliminating all plant foods. And I was willing and ready to give that a chance to see if it works. And it did. Will it work for you? We will find out. But I promise you, any one of these interventions will help you gain more clarity and make more advancements on your healing journey. And you will reach a point of food freedom where eating becomes secondary, as easy and natural as breathing. And you not only are healed, but you optimize your whole life experience. I'm grateful for you being here, and I can't wait to welcome you inside the Find Your Cure program. We begin January 13. Now until December 31st, midnight, you can buy it at the discounted price for 2019. Save $197. Bring a friend. It's always more fun as a group. Well, you know, when you have friends in the group, because this is a group program. And don't forget, this is lifetime access. You join one time and you have access to the program for the rest of your life. And think of at least 4 times a year I offer this group supported guided program, and you will be able to participate in every single one of them without having to invest financially again. You will still have to invest your emotionally and spiritually